Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Lewis, and welcome back to another episode of Finalhazard. This is Season 2, Episode 5, if I've titled it correctly. And like pretty much every other week, we don't have a great deal to talk about. Sonic is a series that is hard to do a weekly podcast on. However, myself and Matt have noticed... But wait, introduce yourself, Matt, for
It's your boy.
the people.
What's good? What's
Alright,
good?
so we're back for another week, and yeah, so
Fine.
this episode is going to be based on Sonic Heroes. It is probably no surprise to you guys that from if you've watched previous episodes that myself and Matt don't agree on this game. Not to the point where we
No.
hate each other over it. No, not to the point where we hate each other over it. But I mean,
No, I fucking
I hate him, but oh, okay, we
Piece of
got
shit.
we got it. Okay, we got it. But saying that, we actually have some stuff to talk about before we get into, I guess, focusing on a 15-year-old game. The reason we did Sonic Heroes because I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it's like, hey, it came out December 30th, 2003, and that is technically the 15th anniversary by like 2 days this year. So, fuck that. We're gonna do it, and yeah, but we do have a few things to talk about. Not enough to center a whole episode on, but we have a few things to talk about. Um, they are re-releasing the Team Sonic Racing comic for those that are interested, and uh, the name of it is stupid. It's like Team Sonic Racing, like deluxe.
Racing Plus Deluxe Turbo Championship Edition one shot. I fucking hate this. And you know what?
Yeah,
I'm really mad. I'm really mad. Okay, I bought this. I bought the fucking original one shot last month for $5.
talk to him.
Okay, all right, and like that shit was all right. The art was really nice, but the writing was meh. You could tell it was a tie-in comic for a video game
That was
with like
supposed to
no.
come out. It's not. See, the thing is like you lose the point of a tie-in comic when the tie-in comic comes out 6 months before the movie or the game. But
Facts.
yeah, no, that shit.
But it's all right. Um, Releasing just in time for the launch of the exciting new game, Team Sonic Racing, the ultimate collector's edition for fans of Sonic games and comics.
All
You right.
two of you that are buying this game and also happen to like everything Sonic.
When the evil,
People have already read the fucking thing. I haven't, because you know.
I fucking hold on. Let me grab it real quick. Just give me like, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, I don't read comics, so fuck this.
This shit's about $4.99. It's written by Caleb Goellen. Adam Bryce Thomas handles the color, the inks and the pencils, and the lettering is done. And the colorist is Elena Unger. I don't fucking know.
Basically, a bunch of great people worked on it.
And it's very, the art's very nice. I like I like a lot of the composition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
It's alright. It's alright.
Eggman dies at the end. By the way, spoiler.
Yeah, as I said, people that probably care about that thing have already read it, so I'd imagine we're not spoiling a great deal there. Team Sonic Racing news continues, I guess. With we got the song for a brand new track that we haven't even seen yet, I think. Frozen Junkyard. I haven't listened to it, and no, I did listen to it a little bit, and it's again, I don't really give a fuck about Team Sonic Racing anymore. It's very much I've had to talk about this every week for like 8 months type of thing. But like the thing with Team Sonic Racing is that it's very much a game that relies so much on fucking nostalgia, and a lot of us hate it. I don't particularly hate it, but see, what I do hate is when Sonic fans are like, we hate nostalgia, and
When
then,
big brain Sonic fans hate nostalgia, and then
And then
but they
they
don't.
see a Sand Hill remix and they're like, "Oh, adventure nostalgia is okay." It's like, no, it's either all or nothing, bitch. It's not how it works. You can't openly hate the rejection of new ideas and then suck them off when they do exactly that. Like, no, that's stupid.
They be smoking the pack, bro. I'm telling you.
But yeah, no facts. Well, no, I actually did listen to this though. This is the one I listened to. It was pretty good, and it's like entirely new. It's like a new. It's not a remix of anything from what I know. The stage is very much based off of Force's aesthetic, which I think we mentioned in like the last episode of the episode with Martin before that. That they kind of need to move away from, but anyway. So it's okay. That's really it. It's okay. The one that got everyone talking though was Hidden Volcano, which was screenshots. They were shown in Famitsu. We might have talked about them on an earlier episode. But yeah, no, screenshots of this new track called Hidden Volcano. And what did everybody think of it, Matt?
So
Tell me what everyone thought.
the us Sonic Internet funny men took the shit and ran with it because the lava looked like baked beans and pizza.
Yeah, the
So
lava didn't look fantastic, though. Wait, hold on, keep talking, because I'm gonna keep talking, bitch, because I'm gonna try and get pictures of it up now.
So we took that shit and ran with it, you feel me? And then everybody else was like, "Oh my god, this game is so ugly, it's going to fail, it's gonna kill the Sonic franchise forever."
You know,
fucking
fuck
Oonga
those
Boonga
people.
fake. Oonga Boonga face ass. Okay. Yeah. Fuckers are annoying as hell. And that's the community reaction segment of this episode of a fucking Final fucking Hazard.
Yeah, the pictures are actually pretty low quality, which suggests to me that this was literally just ripped from the press website. As someone that has fucking access to Sega's press website, this is ripped from the press website. Add image slideshow. Add files. Don't add the directory because it's my fucking pictures folder. There's not safe for work memes in there. Can't be doing that. But yeah, that'll like fade through those, I guess. But yeah, as you can see, the lava looks okay in that picture, but when it wraps around to like the other picture, where it's very clearly moving, by the way, like in a direction, it's like mid movement. It looks like ass. And that wasn't even one of the pictures that I wanted to use, to be honest. That was like, this one looked really good. Hold on, let me add this to the slideshow. God, these are really low quality.
Why do the in-game models look like that?
That's what I want to know. People are asking the wrong questions, honestly. Like the
little character portraits in the corner. I noticed them when I saw the pictures like in passing on the TL, but I was like, I didn't have any problem with them, but now I'm looking at them like, what the fuck is
I like
that?
Sonic.
Why
I don't like the others.
Knuckles' eyes look too big?
Tails looks like he's unfinished.
Well, Tails has always been ugly since they switched over 3D style.
His design doesn't work.
He's looked ugly. He's been looking ugly since Unleashed. But nobody will agree. Tails has been an ugly fucker since Unleashed.
I don't know. These just look like handheld mode Switch screenshots, which I'm not. Like, I can guarantee if they put this shit out at like 1080p, like, this game's gonna look so much better than the fucking screenshots from Famitsu.
Yeah, it's one of those games that I think screenshots and like video recording don't do justice.
Absolutely.
It didn't do Jump Force justice because Jump Force looks better like in game and movement and on gameplay than like the shitty ass cutscenes from the story mode.
If you look at like Smash Ultimate as well, like every pre-release screenshot, the game's fucking lighting was awful. It just looks ugly, but then when you play the game, it looks great. So it's one of those games, you know, that happens a lot, and I can understand why it happens. My problem is when people just jump to these conclusions, like, okay, it's fine to make fun of how the lava looks, but that one where, like, what is it, like that golem thing with its hand? Like, that looks OD. Also, there's a little classic Sonic balloon. I think that's classic Sonic.
Yeah, that's classic.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, no. Aside from that, though, there isn't anything really to talk about. Like, at all. There's nothing to talk about. So I will take that off the screen now. And yeah, really, that's just really it. Like, nothing much to talk about. So we're gonna get into Sonic Heroes. We're gonna break it down bit by bit and talk about what we like, what we don't like, etc. Because, you know, that's what we do. So, do you want to start with, like, your basic, like, exposure and thoughts on the game, just to get everything out on the table?
So boom, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I played Sonic Heroes for the first time, like, 10, not 10, it's been like 13 years, like 16 years since I fucking played Sonic Heroes.
It's not even been out for 16 years.
Or, no, it's 13. Forget about it. I can't count. You know I can't count. It's been a while. So my boy had the shit on PS2, you feel me? And we were playing the bingo level, and I was like, ooh, I want this game. You know, you feel me? He told me it was on GameCube. I didn't get it until like 3 years later. I played that shit. I copped it, and I played it. And I didn't like it because I played Shadow before I played Sonic Heroes. Like, whereas Shadow is like refined Heroes gameplay.
Okay.
In certain aspects.
No.
In certain aspects. I think, but Shadow's level design doesn't lend well to the Heroes type of movement, and I'll explain later. But I played it. I still haven't beat it. It's one of those games I just haven't beaten.
How far have you gotten in it?
I beat Team Rose's story.
Oh well, yeah, that's all the levels you need to see. Like, you're not really missing out on much.
Made it to. I think I've made it to like rail. I've made it to like the frog, like the forest levels in all the other teams except for, in all the other teams basically.
Yeah. And
then that's where I just quit.
Okay, well, you're wrong for saying it's bad because I'm right, and.
Well, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad game. It's just.
Yeah.
It's just like, not what I want in my Sonic experience. Yeah. In certain aspects.
I think for me, Sonic Heroes is possibly the most flawed but fun blend of everything that I like in a platformer. Not just a Sonic game, but in a platformer. And I think that with a few refinements, and not even that, I think if you added a lot of it to a core adventure game, some of the things in that game, it's just fucking amazing. So, my first experience with Sonic Heroes, I think I've said this a bunch of times, but my first games, period, when I was like 2 or 3 years old, I was playing on my Mega Drive. My mom had a Mega Drive. And I was born in 99, so I would have been like, this would have been like 2002 at this point. And a few years later, after playing Sonic 1 and 2, I never really grew up with Sonic a great deal. It was kind of like that middle series for me. I played mostly like Yu-Gi-Oh games when I was younger, and then I transitioned on to Pokemon and then whatever, but Sonic was always kind of there. And I do remember my like big game following the classic games was Sonic Heroes. And then I got Shadow in 06, and then promptly didn't touch the series until just after Generations came out. So I think that speaks volumes about what those games are. But Sonic Heroes was a game that I played in the PS2, and I've played every version of Sonic Heroes without realizing it. I went to a family friend's house, and they had Sonic Heroes on the fucking Xbox. That was the first time I ever touched an Xbox controller, and I promptly did not touch one for another 10 years. Because you like seen the original Xbox controllers?
It's awful.
Yeah, that's fucking beefy as shit for no goddamn reason. But yeah, no. And then I played the PS2 version. That was the one that I had, unfortunately, and I loved it. I loved it as a kid. I don't remember beating it with anyone past Team Sonic, but then a few years later, I think this was just after my parents split. Cause me and my dad went on holiday slash vacation. We went on holiday to this like caravan like park that we went to every year, and I spent a lot of we brought like my Wii, and I had bought Sonic Heroes recently on the GameCube, because I had been collecting GameCube games. I guess I would have been like 11 at the time, and I had been collecting GameCube games that I had never like played, like Pokemon XD, like Melee. That was my first exposure to Melee, like Mario Sunshine. I would have been like 11, and I played the game and I beat it in one night. I beat all of Team Sonic's story in one night, and for like 11-year-old me, who didn't give a fuck about Sonic at the time, and still sucks at video games, but you know, like that was great. It was a whole great ass experience, and I continue to play that game monthly. And I think the reason for that is because it just has everything that I like in a Sonic game put together. Do you want to go over story first, then? Because
Alright, so
what
boom.
level of it there is.
So basically, Eggman about to kill everybody in 24
Wrong
hours.
answer. Wrong answer. It's not what happens.
You're right.
We gotta spoil them.
Shut up. This is a twist. The twist.
There's no twist. Metal Sonic's the bad guy. Of course he's the bad guy. You see him in Shadow's story, like halfway through. It's not a twist at all.
Well,
fuck Sonic the
maybe
Hedgehog.
some people don't. Oh my god.
Eris dies in Final Fantasy VII. Like, what are you... Are you baby? Come on now. No, but seriously though. The plot is Eggman is supposedly going to blow up the world in 24 hours, and there's 12 playable characters split into 4 teams. You got Team Sonic, which is Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. You got Team Dark, which is Shadow, Rouge the Bat, and the new character called Omega, who I guess was holding over Shadow as he fell from the sky from Sonic Adventure 2. Because, you know, he'd lived for some reason. Team Rose, who is Amy, Cream, and Big the Cat for some reason. I don't know why he's living with, like, 2 10-year-old girls, but whatever. We won't question him. And the Chaotix, Vector the Crocodile, Charmy Bee, and Espio the Chameleon, who are really cool, but are also the most unfun team to play as. And what's their reasoning for it, right? Like, Sonic just wants to fuck up Eggman. Shadow kind of wants to fuck up Eggman, but, like, not really.
But, like, he wants to, but he just wants answers.
And he ends up with more questions.
I want to know the secrets about my past.
And he ends up with more questions at the end of it. And then Team Rose, they want to find Chocola Chow, which is Cream's Chow, and also
Chocola Chow, and
Froggy.
No, Cream wants to. Cream and Big want to find their friends, and Amy just wants to fuck Sonic.
Yeah. So basically,
which is her entire motivation for that game. Literally,
it's her entire character for the whole of the modern series. But anyway,
but not the whole modern series.
Nah.
But like that, it's just that game. That's where people get that like whole Amy's a crazy stalker and shit.
I don't
like it. You see that shit in a lot of fucking fan fictions, bro. I was here in the Sonic fan base in 2006. I know these things.
That's unfortunate.
I wasn't active, but I saw, and I read, and I watched. I saw with my eyes. You feel me? I witnessed it.
Yeah, no. Then there's Team Chaotix, who get an anonymous guy talking to them who totally isn't Dr. Eggman, telling them to do all these things to go to beat up Dr. Eggman, who is actually Metal Sonic, who trapped Dr. Eggman And basically, because none of the other teams matter, Team Sonic gets the Chaos Emeralds. They beat the fuck out of like Metal Sonic with his fucking big kaiju transformation, which comes out of fucking nowhere, by the way. The most like over-designed character in Sonic history, minus maybe like, I don't know, any Sonic Boom character. But then, yeah, really, that's it. The day is saved. And I like it. It's a really light-hearted story, minus a little bit Shadow Who Am I type shit. Like, there's that one cutscene where he kills like a boss, or when he like when you like beat an Eggman boss. It's the one in like Bullet Station, Rail Canyon, and then it just like dissolves into metal, and there's like a fucking shadow android there. It's like, that shit must be scary. Like, I don't think about that very much, but that shit must be scary. Like, you just beat the fuck out of this guy, he turns out to be a robot, and then you see like copies of yourself. It's terrifying. But yeah, no. Sonic Heroes doesn't really have a story to talk about. But I mean, again, like, you're kind of like on the fence, right, with like simplistic stories and stuff in Sonic. Cause it's
What?
Are you like on the fence with like simplistic Sonic stories?
I don't care about the stories. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, that's the thing.
Like, if the story is in my face, it makes me question everything that I'm doing in the game. Then yeah, but hey,
yeah, if the
if
story is like a focus, then fair enough. But if it's not, then I don't.
if my shit's like, if I'm going through the story and then the game makes it seem like everything I'm doing is fucking pointless, then yeah, you basically.
Yeah.
No game I've played has done that for me yet. I don't. I trust they won't. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I think Sonic Heroes is the perfect reason and example as to why to me it's the perfect Sonic story, not because it's well written, not because the dialogue is good, because the voice acting is good, bad, whatever, because it's just there and it doesn't get in the way of the game. Like, and as well, okay, to get into the complaints that I agree with, a lot of people complain about this game because it's like, oh, you know, you have to beat the game 4 times to fight Metal Sonic, which is the final boss. You have to beat the game with every single team. And of course, all of these teams have the same levels, and they go through the same story beats for the most part. But, like, Team Dark's levels are longer, Sonic's is like the medium length, and Team Rose's are a lot shorter. And then Chaotix, they have like different stipulations, like collect something amount of this in the level, right? I'm gonna be honest, that doesn't bother me at all, because never once in a Sonic game has beating it been the fun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as I adore Sonic Colors from being a game that I enjoy from start to finish, same with Sonic Generations and Sonic 3 and Sonic 2, I'm not 100%ing those games, because I don't care. I don't care about Super Sonic and Sonic 2. It's not worth it. Likewise, I don't care about Perfect Chaos and Adventure 1. It doesn't mean that Adventure 1 is a bad game, or the method to getting to Perfect Chaos isn't bad. But, I don't know, I just don't feel worth it to play through the whole game, you know? Like, and plus, nobody's forcing you to play all 4 teams back to back. Like, you could literally play Sonic Heroes, Team Sonic, not play for 6 months, and then just pick it back up. It's Shadow. And then you're reliving that experience again. Provided you enjoy it enough in the first place to bother. So, yeah, I think, like, that might be a way that the story could get in your face about it. But other than that, it's just okay. Like, the story is, like, there because it needs to exist, obviously. Like, the characters need a reason to be there. And it goes out of its way to, like, suggest stuff about, like, Shadow and like, Metal Sonic. But other than that, I think it's perfect because it's just there to complement the gameplay, and I think that's what a story needs to do. It doesn't need to bombard us with cutscenes about some character who I don't really give a shit about that I end up skipping, you know? And plus, most of the personality in this game is from the in-level, like, dialogue, so I don't know. But
My head spinning, face ass.
yeah, do you wanna talk about that?
Ah! I'm sorry. I apologize. Fucking, I don't know. The characters never shut up, and I don't like that. It,
I
but
think that should
it's
definitely
charming,
have been like an option to turn it off.
but it's funny. Like
Yeah,
that's the thing. But it's funny.
like I can't
Like I
I
don't.
can't get mad at it. You know, it's not like to the point where it's like, girl, I hate this. Like, chill. You know,
I don't get mad. I don't get mad about it. I just fucking laugh.
you
It's
watch
just
these 2 hour breakdowns of Sonic Heroes and why it sucks on YouTube, and like you just got people being like,
the characters don't shut up.
yeah, it's like
It's honestly annoying. I can't believe it.
like is it really that much? Is it really that difficult? Maybe in 2003, 2004, but is it really that difficult in 2019 to fucking turn off the game audio and listen to something else, or listen to the game soundtrack like
That shit got
online?
subtitles for a reason.
Exactly. You don't even. To me, shit like audio and cutscene complaints, like with how cutscenes are not with the story, but like with how cutscenes look a lot of the time and off frame. Like, oh, that cutscene looked ugly. It's like, okay, bitch, like you're right,
2003
you're right, but you can skip it.
facts.
You know, like
And
if I don't like the story in Sonic Unleashed, it still gets in the way of me enjoying the game because I have to do the Hedgehog because of the story. That's the plot device. Whereas the Sonic Heroes, if I don't like the cutscenes in that game, I can press the start button and just go on to the next level because it doesn't get in the way of the game. That's how I see it.
mm-hmm.
And I see it the same as Adventure 2, although a little bit less because you're still forced to do like treasure hunting shit because Knuckles broke the Master Emerald. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I really do think that a lot of people. Sonic Heroes is a really hard game to talk about because it's one of those games that you see, like, as somebody who loves it, I guess really likes it. I wouldn't say love it, but as someone that sees all the valid complaints, you're like, yeah, you're right, but also you can get around that kind of thing. You can play around it.
Exactly. I don't think the mech. I don't. I think the mech is like really tough to control in certain sections,
Yeah.
and but I don't hate it. Treasure hunting kind of a pain, but I don't and hate it.
Yeah, no, and
Oh, I do hate it.
see,
I do
like,
hate it. What I'm talking about.
I think we share that opinion, but like I'm just not as prepared to get around it because it's more effort than it needs to. For me, like, I could, you know, play the mech stages enough and the treasure hunting stage enough to either like memorize it or like to get better at them in general. But I also don't want to because I don't like the feeling of those characters and those gameplay styles, and that's fine. And I think the same goes to any Sonic, any game, but especially for Sonic Heroes. Like, if you don't like how the characters control, or if you don't like the level design, that's fine. But I think that it's also not like actively ignoring it either because you're still like very about it. You're like, oh, I don't like this. It's like, okay, that's fair enough. That's fine. Nobody's forcing anyone to like anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't like Sonic Heroes Control, which we'll get onto probably next, it's whatever. Who cares? But like, it's when you say that, it's like arguments fucking start, and then it's just, oh god. So, what do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about visuals and music, or like levels and control? Because like those are the four things that we have to like go through, I guess.
I think visuals and music first.
Okay.
Well, personally, in my opinion, I think the Sonic Heroes models are some of the best Sonic models out there. I think they really capture the Yuji Oikawa art style really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're like Uekawa's like art like in 3D, and that makes them look really, and that's what like gives them that push
Yeah.
because like they got the big feet, they got the big bendy feet, you know.
They look disproportionate, which is accurate to the model sheet. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that Sonic is not supposed to look like how he does in Sonic Adventure. You know, like if you look at Sonic on the box art, if you look at his model sheets, and then you look at him in the game, he's fat. You know, he's fat. He's still in that Sonic, classic Sonic, the Sonic Adventure, like modern Sonic, like hybrid design. Um, but like I think Heroes, like I never really thought about that honestly, but you're right. I think Heroes is a really good like
It's a good translation
yeah,
of
a
his,
really good translation.
and that's where I think it really like shines. Definitely.
Yeah, in terms
Um,
of like
and Tails doesn't look ugly as hell.
yeah,
Um,
I
he
like
looks a little dumb, but you know.
the thing with Heroes, and I don't know if this is nostalgia or how many times I've played it, influencing that, but I remember certain animations in Heroes from like cutscenes. By the way, the CGI cutscenes in this game are fucking gorgeous. Like just with Shadow and O6, but like this, I think this was the first game where they really nailed the CGI. Like the humans
Yeah.
don't look like the Sonic Adventure 2 humans. Please, but
Well, there's no humans in.
and that's the best part. It feels. I guess we'll talk about that more when we get onto like general aesthetic, but like it feels like more of a Sonic game. Like it feels like to me when you look at Sonic Adventure, it doesn't feel like Oikawa's designs. You know, the humans don't feel designed by
They
him.
don't feel like they were drawn by Oikawa at all.
Yeah, no, they feel like they were just taken from a different game. Whereas with Heroes, I think every enemy, this is the first game they had egg pawns, and they all fit so fucking well. Like even the big dudes in the final level with like the hammers, like they fit. You know, they fit as these big goofy ass enemies that still are like threatening because of the color scheme they pose a threat. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the models are great. I don't like Rouge's new design. I don't think it
It
works.
makes her like they were trying to like emphasis away from her chest,
But they just made it
but then
worse.
it just made it worse.
Let's oh god, let's not get into that. Look, at the risk of sounding painfully horny, I'd love Rouge's design in Sonic Adventure 2.
But oh my god, does but that model looks so ugly with like her original design on it?
Yeah, that model is a bit
That model looks so ugly with her OG design on it.
yeah. I think
In
Adventure
Shadow,
2's like designs were pretty good across the board. Like the
the
new
models
characters.
though, the models like for like in terms of like experimental characters
Yeah.
look bad. Like Rouge is like the only character who's really like whose design really deviates away
Yeah.
from like the normal Sonic art style. So like she looks ugly in SA2,
Mhm.
but it's more like her body like looks wrong.
Yeah.
She doesn't look yeah
I don't like
like
how well in SA2 like Shadow almost has like a fur texture, but like Sonic is just solid blue. Like that bothers me. Like they like in I don't know if it was because of the
because I
GameCube
think it's
or
because they didn't. I think it's because like if they rendered him as solid black, he'd look off.
he would
You know,
he would
he'd
and I
look
think
off, and that's why like I think he looks really weird to me in like Heroes and Shadow
I
is
think he looks
because like
fantastic in Heroes.
because they made his color solid. They made his black like his black like for solid. There's no blue tint anymore
See, to me that looks weird because
because
it looks inconsistent. Like at least in Heroes, like every character has that feel, you know. Um,
it's just like the black and like the slight blue, like the slight blues in his fur, like just give this really good contrast. Give this really good contrast, and that's missing.
I feel like if Sonic looked like that in SA2, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. But like, yeah, I see where you're coming from. I just don't. I just would rather have like visual consistency above all else. And I think speaking of visual consistency, I don't think we've ever brought it up. But aside from like Forces and Lost World, um, I think that this game and maybe Generations, but I think that this game is one of the top Sonic games in terms of graphic design. As someone that's been doing it for like 5 years himself and is studying it at
Oh,
university,
facts. Just thinking about it,
Heroes menu is, oh, it's so pretty.
it's so cool.
Sonic
So
Heroes
cool.
menu is so gorgeous. Like the just the red, blue, yellow, like just theme that keeps going on, and like the emblems look cooler than they did in Adventure. Um, the UI with like the Team Blast gauge, how when you almost have the Team Blast gauge, like the notification to like press the Z button, like it pops up over the gauge a little bit, and then when you get it, like the sound effect plays and it shuts down, and it's like, oh fuck, I can use this move now. Um, I like the level system and how that's integrated in the UI. It's just really nice. It's just really clean, and I think if someone was to remake this game in HD, it would look so fucking good. Like
If they kept that aesthetic.
yeah, like the menu looks fantastic. Like I want to do a remake of the menu, um, in like high quality. I just love like the logo for like the emblem of this game, like the red, blue, yellow. Like that
Yeah.
looks so like there's nothing in a Sonic game that just makes you think like this is Sonic, like this is Sonic Tails Knuckles. You know it, and I don't know. I think it's crazy for a game with so many characters and so many diverse locations. It doesn't falter in terms of visual design. Like Heroes is so good at keeping things so consistent. It's what I love about games like Colors and even Forces. Forces UI is fucking gorgeous. From like a technical standpoint and from a consistency
Great.
standpoint, it's gorgeous. I just don't think it fits with a Sonic game.
I I think Generations UI is a little eh
It's a little over the
because
top.
I feel like I've seen it in others because it's reused so much.
Yeah.
Because they reused it a few times afterwards.
They kept the
Def-
aesthetic going into Lost World, yeah.
yeah, and it was just like, but this is so boring, It's so
Yeah.
plain. But
See,
then like you have like there's
they
other
keep changing it up though, and
yeah.
I think by far the worst is '06. I hate the '06 graphic design
Oh
so
06
much.
just like oh 06 has like the but like I think like the arrows thing that they had going on,
Yeah.
like the three arrows thing. I think that like that consistent like that looks to me that looks good, but you're looking at it for so long because you're not spending a lot of your time playing the game. You're spending a lot of your time looking at loading screens and you're looking at like the same damn fucking typeface for like 8 hours at a time.
Yeah, I don't like the sleek like modern aesthetic. Like I don't think it works with Sonic. I get what they were going for, but I just don't think the
Yeah, and
aesthetic of that
the
game
text is too
works.
small. Text is too small.
Yeah, that
There's
too.
no there's no balance between the graphics and the typeface
I think that's because
because
it was rushed, but that's not an excuse.
yeah
That's just how it is.
yeah the scale like they don't use scale and it bothers me.
Also, the UI is literally broken as well with like the gems and
Yeah,
shit. So,
busted.
but yeah, no, I think Heroes is just it's what Sonic looks like in 3D to me. I don't know whether that's because of nostalgia, but I think Sonic in 3D to me is this
I think Sonic
bubbly,
should have kept that.
bright,
I,
like
def-
you know,
I definitely think Sonic should have kept that like look in the
yeah,
future because what I've noticed with Sonic recently is like Sonic Forces is trying to low key like shrink Sonic. Like Lost World and Forces have been trying to like shrink Sonic back down to like that like those proportions slowly.
like adventure, yeah,
Yeah, like they're slowly doing it. Like because you can tell the difference between the design with each Sonic game. But like I think the issue was that like they took the really tall, lanky fucking big feet, big hands, um extra large head Sonic from '06, and like they kind of like ran with that, but then like they shrunk his proportions, his like oversized proportions in Unleashed, and like they just stuck with that for a really long time. And we're
yeah.
moving away from that finally. And I definitely think the next Sonic game we're gonna have like a big like not big, but I think we're gonna see a huge difference with Sonic
Well, I mean, if it's the
because with
movie
all
game, then definitely, but yeah,
not with the movie game. I'm talking like the next main series game is definitely gonna see Sonic get like a shake up in terms of design. He's
Yeah.
definitely gonna look a little. He's definitely gonna look a lot different. Um,
I do. I think it's because it's just color palette. Like, even if you don't like how the models are constructed or how they're textured or whatever, I think Sonic Heroes is the best looking game from that quote unquote adventure trilogy. Like, overall, like, holy shit, like, the
because
levels
every
are
other
so
game was
pretty.
experimental. Like SA1 and SA2 are starkly different in terms of
Yeah, I don't know why
design.
that game is a sequel, honestly. I don't know why SA2 is a sequel, and I think I've said this before, but that game should not be called Sonic Adventure 2. It's not a Sonic Adventure game at all. It's not reminiscent of Sonic Adventure. It's not a sequel story wise. If anything, Heroes is more of a sequel to SA2 than SA2 is more of a sequel to SA1. Or Shadow is more of a sequel to Heroes than those two. So you're right in that they're very experimental. Though, that being said, I just think that it does atmosphere a lot better. Like, Hang Castle to me looks so much better than any of the darker, like, space lit stages in that game. I think, like, Seaside Hill, like the water in Seaside Hill looks better than the water in Metal Harbor. That type of shit. Um, and I just think that they ran with classic Sonic aesthetic. And I hate that this bouncy, colorful shit is left to classic Sonic nowadays. Like, you
When
see this.
modern can benefit from it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Heroes is the perfect middle ground between everything I like in Sonic. As I said, I don't think it's particularly the best in the series at anything, as well. I think in terms of control, I'd rather play the classics. In terms of like speed, I'd rather play Generations. In terms of, a lot of things I'd prefer to play other games. But I think the reason why I've always came back to Heroes is because it just it just has this balance. Like, it just has such a good balance, and I really think that it's just one of those things that will never change for me. I think Shadow, on the other hand, despite reusing models and despite like, that to me is why the models aren't important in Heroes, is because they reuse
Oh,
them in Shadow and the game looks like shit because it's
okay,
the aesthetic
so
that's the problem.
yeah, but in terms, okay, should we? Oh, music. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah, music as well.
That soundtrack slaps.
Yeah,
If you ain't bumping fucking Lost Jungle and shit like that,
bro, Frog
or
Forest make me cry every time I listen to that
bro,
song.
bro, Force. Oh my god, that shit slaps.
Well, do you want to just go through like the levels and how they look and design and sound, like in order, I
Oh,
guess?
definitely. Seaside Hill is sound that song gets me hyped. It's like the only level I like to play. um, the only level I like to play in that game
Yeah,
for like in certain aspects, and it like really, and I really like the aesthetic. It kind of like it has those callbacks to like Green Hill, but like it does its own thing,
yeah,
which
yeah.
which makes all the difference.
I think you know how Emerald Hill was like Green Hill Zone 2.0. To me, this really feels like the first game since then that we got a 3.0 of Green Hill. It definitely feels like a successor in terms of aesthetic and upbeat music. And then the fact that this 2003 GameCube game transitions pretty much immediately into Ocean Palace, which is this ba ba da ba ba. It's just like, and then they bring in like the dolphins, which is something from
Bang.
Adventure. They bring in the cart a little bit more. They bring in like breaking down the doors and triangle jumping between the walls. I just love like that marble, like, I feel like it's Greek inspired, but I might be wrong on that. Like
It's a little.
the white
It
marble.
might be. I don't think it's It might be like Roman.
But that
It might
might be
be.
better. Yeah.
It might be a cross between like Roman and Greek architecture.
I don't
Like
fucking care at this point.
I'm
It just looks so good.
one of these days I'm gonna analyze the architecture. You feel me? I'm gonna
I
analyze the.
I don't. Well, you're gonna have fun with Unleashed then, because it's pretty easy. But I don't think that I don't think that there's ever been a moment in a Sonic game where I've looked at it and been like, wow, how can the game do this? And one of those was when, towards the end of Ocean Palace, when you see, like, the 15, like, platforms with turtles on them, which all have their own different routes to them. That is, with the cannons, that is so sick.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And they low-key butchered it in Generations when they remade the stage, but hey, I don't know. I really do think that Ocean Palace and Seaside Hill are deserving of that constant reuse in the racing games and the mobile games and whatever, because
It's clean.
it's just good. It's just good. And I don't know whether this is an unpopular opinion or not, but Grand Metropolis sucks.
Oh, thank you.
Grand Metropolis, I used to love it when I was a kid, but the constantly green?
The music is good. The music fits it so well.
Yeah,
It's
the music
ugly.
is so accurate. Like, I think, as much as I love Knuckles rapping over Pumpkin Hill, or as much as I love even, like, Metal Harbor, is, like, and Green Forest are, like, the only two stages in, like, Sonic Adventure where, like, I think the music really, really fits. Not counting shit like City Escape. But, like, Shadow's music does not fit for the stage design at all. And we know why that is, because he was put in the game at the last minute. But, you know, it's just things like that, and, like, Hang Castle feels like Hang Castle. You know, like, the music that plays, like, Ocean Palace really feels like this belting, like, especially when you're, like, running away from the rocks at the end.
Oh,
As
I
you
hate
said,
that section so much.
that cocked me up a little bit when I was a kid.
That it's so hard to control.
PS2 version's collision detection. Imagine that. Imagine playing that level where you just fall through shit. But, yeah, I think, you know, as you said, Power Plant and Grand Metropolis. See, I want to like Grand Metropolis, but I think level design-wise, it's very, like, slow. I think the whole pulling and pushing levers.
There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues with Heroes' level design. Carry over to Shadow and are more apparent in Shadow than they are in Heroes, and I want to talk about that definitely.
I think overall though, I think like the levels are pretty hit or miss, because you have Seaside Hill, which is this, I would say, this perfect level. Honestly, I want to call it perfect. Seaside Hill, Ocean Palace. Then you have the city, which is like kind of okay. Then you have the casinos, which aren't great. And then you have the rails.
Casinos are fucking terrible.
Then you have the rails, which are okay. You have Frog Forest.
They have
fantastic.
a nice aesthetic. They have a nice the rail levels have a nice aesthetic.
Yeah, I think they're criminally underrated.
But they're designed like shit.
I think they are criminally underrated aesthetic-wise.
Aesthetic-wise, yeah, but the fucking level... But, like, you hate the level because you don't take the time to look at the aesthetic because you're too busy fucking dying from the fucked up rail switching.
It's better than the bus adventure, but...
SA2's rail switching was better than...
No, it was not. No.
SA2's rail switching barely worked. You feel me?
SA2's rail switching. At least in this game, I have a fly. I can fly.
You can fly, but not when you're flying off the rail.
But why would you hold right whilst you're going at super speed? Why wouldn't you just change to the flying character and then jump and then move the stick? Like, that's what I don't get.
I'm trying to do the rail switching as they taught me to do it on the fucking in the little, like what Sonic or Tails told me to do when I was in Grand Metropolis on the rail.
To be fair, I've never had problems. I don't know. See, I think the issue, and there might be like some crazy Sonic Heroes person out there that knows this better than I do, but why is it so broken? I feel like it's because, I wish I could just boot up the game now. I probably could, but it would be loud.
You know what I think it is?
I think here's what I think it might be though, because like when you switch to like the rail to the right, hold on, let me like get my GameCube controller in my hand to like demonstrate this to myself. But you switch to the right, you press the A button, but in between like releasing the A button, the stick goes back to neutral. Like, it goes back to the center of like the dead zone. So it doesn't. You need to hold the stick until you're definitely on the rail, and then let go of it. Because if people just do this, like in one fell swoop, like they're gonna fuck it up. Like you have to hold the stick for a bit, press A, or press the jump or whatever button you use to change rails. I forget, and then just do that. You know.
But we're expecting it to be instant. You feel me?
But Adventure 2
Because
wasn't instant.
no, like Adventure 2 wasn't instant, but like most times, if not, you're landing on the rail. But like, but in SA2, they don't suggest that they don't force you to switch rails.
Yeah, rail
In
switching
SA2,
is very rare in SA2.
yeah, in SA2 is very rare. So like when you like, there's certain parts where you can do it. You can do it in Final Rush if you feel like going for all the rings and shit, or in fucking what's it called? And like in Green Forest, there's like these little like rail grinding sections on top of like those little like canopies that you run through when instead of like before you go to a loop or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, you can jump on those and there's rails up there and you get extra bonus. You do rail switching there, but for the most part, it's just kind of like, but like when you hold like left or right, you're like your character actually leans over, like so like you press the A button, you're like, okay, Sonic's definitely gonna go to that rail because I gave him the directional input to do that. But in Heroes, it's like you can't tell if you're gonna switch. You can't tell if you're gonna switch
See,
to the next
in
one.
Heroes, I think aside
Because
from
once
just
you hit
getting
the A button,
aside from getting around it by just jumping and not and keeping the stick in neutral and then moving, I think I don't know, like to me in SA2, a lot of the design of the rails, they tend to go straight down in Final Rush. When you have to switch rails in like Sky Canyon or Final Rush, they're either going at a downwards angle or an upwards angle. In Heroes, most of the rails are directly to your side because there has to be three, usually for set pieces, but there's usually just about three. And most of the time that results in them going pretty straight. So unless the rail is like curved, it never happens to me. Like,
but it's always like, but rail grinding is always suspended over a bottomless pit. That's the issue. But
yeah,
I think we're
I mean
getting off top.
it is an SA2 as well. I think Shadow had the right idea with the Shadow had a lot of quality of life stuff, but then the rest of the game was cock. So, like being able to light speed dash through rings that you've already picked up. But
Raw.
that was cool as shit. But yeah, let's get back onto. So is Grand Metropolis a no for you? Because for me, it's
alright.
It's an okay. It's
It's an okay level.
Yeah.
I hate Power Plant though. I hate Power Plant with a passion.
I never had a problem with it. I did when I was a little kid.
It's
But...
yeah, because I was little, and the final section always fuck.
Yeah.
The final part when you're
Against the heat.
fucking yeah, when you're climbing up the heat shaft.
Yeah.
And it's fucking anxiety inducing.
Yeah, because you have to like switch to the different team members as well.
Because you have to switch to the different team members and the team switching mechanic, and like sometimes the team switching mechanic sucks dick.
Yeah, because if you like fuck up and like as like Charmy like toss like SVO into the fucking lava, he like staggers for a bit while he like gets back to your group. So
I don't like that I can't switch in midair. That fucks with me because like it'll be raw. Like you just switch to Sonic on the fly and then you're like homing attack, boom. Great shit.
I don't know. I feel like that would open up a wealth of infinite flight possibilities, but with the triangle jump glide, the tails hover, and the tornado and the homing attack, but because I feel like you could jump like as Tails or whoever, then switch to Sonic, tornado, go up a little bit, and switch back to Tails and Knuckles, and switch back to Sonic again, and just go up and up and up. But anyway, we have Bingo Highway and Casino Park, not Casinopolis, whatever.
Casino Park and Bingo Highway.
The really shitty pinball levels. They control like ass, but I think
they
they
control
gorgeous.
like ass. They're gorgeous, but the music sucks.
What? I have never heard that in my entire.
No, because you hear it because you're always in there for too long. You're in there for too.
It's so good.
It's one of those stages where it's like you're in there too long, so you hate the music. It's like that for me in Matt Space's soundtrack. Matt Space's song like slaps, but I hate it because I hear it for too long. I'm in there for 30 minutes. I don't want to hear this song anymore. Type shit.
Bro, I fucking cannot get enough of that level's aesthetic, and
especially Bingo Highway. Bingo Highway. I don't want to like.
Bingo Highway is a little worse, yeah. But like, I think Bingo
like
Highway.
I hear that song when I hear the songs for too long. The songs go on for too long. Is my issue.
See, Bingo Highway, I like the music in that stage because it starts off. I think with all the teams, you start off on a pinball table, and then the music kicks in the moment you start like rolling down, and then.
Oh no!
It,
Casino Park, no. Oh, my fault. I'm thinking of Bingo Highway all the time. Casino Park slaps.
Yeah.
Casino Park slaps.
Bingo Highway is a little busy, like Lost Jungle, but I think like the music is just so dope. Like it's just because it just like it gets faster and faster. Essentially, the further you go through the level, and it loops back around. I think it's a very smart design choice. My favorite thing visually ever in any Sonic game is the dice platforms that like warp up and down. That looks so cool.
Those are a bitch to platformer.
They look so cool. I can't wait to stream that game. I'll probably stream it as the next Sonic game.
They look cool, but shit to traverse. I'll be depressed.
Like honestly, I do think they get a little too much shit. Like if you took the pinball out, they would be fantastic. But I do think that just someone mod it. Someone mod the PC version or the GameCube, Dolphin, whatever. We don't endorse piracy over here on Figure 8. However, playing this game in 4K is really pretty. But yeah, no, Rail Canyon and Bullet Station. Now, I think these levels, as I said before, have such an underrated aesthetic. You are on this canyon, this bottomless pit, and there's like different train stops where you can like catch your breath, and then the trains with like the faces and the horns and like the red and gray color schemes, they're like rush towards you. That is so sick. It's not as Sonic-y as like the rest of the game. I think this is a point where the art style kind of dies a little bit, but I still think it looks dope. I still think that shit fucking looks so sick.
Looks good.
Yeah.
It's not great. Like the rest of the sound, like 6 levels after it, but
yeah. Wait, what is hold on, I'm gonna play this. Rail Canyon Sonic Heroes. What does this sound like? Oh yeah, no, this one's good. Wait, Bullet Station, what's this? I'm booling. A. Okay, yeah, no, this. Hold on. Like, can we just end the episode there? Like, what do we even need to say? But yeah, we talked a little bit about it before when we were talking about the rail sections, I guess. What's after this? Is it Lost Jungle?
Yeah, it's the jungle levels.
They talk about Mushroom Hill, and that makes me very happy. Yeah.
The fucking alligator gives me anxiety.
Yeah, you don't like the elevator? I love the alligator.
It's the reason why I've never beaten any other story.
I remember it made me shit my pants as a kid, but I did it on the first try, and I was like, damn, that was cool. You know? Like, that was fucking cool. But yeah, I think the music, as I said, Frog Forest makes me cry every time I hear it because it's just so pretty, and it's so great looking, and it's so great sounding, and I love the frogs. Like how you have to make it rain, to like make the frogs make it rain, and then like the vine like grows as you go on it, as you like grind on it. That is so sick. I think Lost Jungle is a little bit more stagnant in terms of visual aesthetic, but then it introduces like the black frogs with like the
There's that black frog again.
There's that black frog again. And with like the darker like purple like tones and shit.
It takes my life every time.
And then the alligator stops Matt from talking from this point onwards.
Fuck.
What? Yeah, no. What else is after?
I'm gonna try.
There's Mystic Mansion.
Ooh, I like the look of that stage, and I like the song music.
I get unbelievable vertigo from that. I don't suffer from it, and as somebody who just gassed up, Bullet Station before, you'd think, oh, heights wouldn't scare you in a fucking video game. When you are like upside down and the whole ass moon, the whole like big red werewolf looking ass moon is like right there, bro, that it still trips me out. There's the part where like you turn the level upside down and there's like a statue of Dr. Eggman. You turn it upside down and it's Neo Metal Sonic, but you don't notice it on your first playthrough. But it's a hint because at that point in the game, obviously they don't know. Like, that's so good. I can't name a Sonic game that's done something like that.
It's kind of raw. Hold on.
It is kind of raw. And then, what else have we got after that? Just trying to run through these. Wait, is that it? We have the final level, but is that it?
Yeah, and there's the Egg Fleets.
Egg Fleet is such a fucking cool stage. Because there's like a million different ways to beat it. And like the music is so good. I love like the dolphin and like the shark and like the whale aesthetic that Eggman's got going on with the ships. It just looks so good. And then Final Fortress is a very linear level, I think, design wise. I don't quite like it. But I like the music. I like how it ramps up in tension a lot towards the end. Like, Egg Fleet, to me, is very much, like, a typical, like, classic Sonic stage, and then, like, final stage, like, Wing Fortress, and then Final Fortress is, like, the typical, like, a typical subversion, haha, it's a bit of an oxymoron, but it's, like, a typical, subversion of that concept where it just gets, like, super dark, and, like, oh, shit, like, Death Egg time. And then... Oh god, what do you think about the bosses?
They're all shit.
You don't like Egg Hawk? Egg Hawk? Yeah.
That shit's fucking too easy.
Yeah, Egg Hawk and Egg Albatross are too easy. The team battles are too easy because you can just spam.
No. Albatross is a little bit iffy for me.
I like Robot Storm and Robot Carnival, but I think I think I would prefer it if they didn't use like mooks you've already seen. Like if they had like OG like things. Like in Team Dark Story when they brought in the fucking planes that like dropped shit on you that you had to thunder shoot. That shit scared the fuck out of me because that's so loud in the Hand Castle version. But the music is so good for those stages.
I don't know. Just the gauntlets I don't like them.
I don't think they're good, and they don't lend themselves well, and they're not particularly well made, but I don't really have a problem with them because there's only 2 in the game. So, if you want to be pedantic, you can say 8, but who the fuck is going to play the same game 4 times in a row back to back, No one's going to do that. Like, that's the thing, man. You can pace yourself as much as you want with Heroes. Like, it's one of those games that you can just pick up and get back into. You can't do that with, like, classic Sonic games. With classic Sonic games, they're, like, short enough to where it's like, oh, I need to beat this in one playthrough. especially with Sonic 1 and 2's case, because no saving. But yeah, no. So I think the levels are fantastic. Pretty much. There's like little things about each level that I don't like, but overall, I think it's like the game is a pretty strong start, and then it has an okay middle, and then it like strengthens up at the end. I'd say, with like Mystic Mansion and like Egg Fleet and shit. The final boss also sucks, by the way. Like,
Egg Emperor, terrible.
no, Egg Emperor is fine. Egg Emperor is difficult as fuck, and
Oh yeah,
I appreciate it because it's like the last big challenge. Metal Overlord is so long and drawn out, and the supersonic part sucks except for what I'm made of, which comes out of fucking nowhere, by the way. It's just it's okay. Like it's boring though, and it's like just as bad as Finalhazard. Haha, it's just as bad as Finalhazard, or even Perfect Chaos is just okay. Like I don't. That's the thing. Like when people are like, "Oh, you got to beat all 4 stories," it's like to do what? To fight Metal Overlord? No thanks. It's just not worth it. It's like beating Sonic 3, not to beat Sonic 3, but to get to Doomsday Zone. Like nobody says that. Nobody's like, "Oh, I can't wait to get to Egg Reverie." It's just I don't know. It's just one of those things, really. That being said, I forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, I think the last big thing before we wrap this up is the gameplay, because we haven't really talked about it that much. And I guess I'll start off with this one just to get my opinions out. I really like it. I think the team switching mechanic in that game and the level system is so well done. How you get levels by going through checkpoints with different characters. It incentivizes you to not just play as Sonic the whole time, a level 3 Sonic. I like I like how the game controls. Honestly, I love how the game controls because it has that really. It's just kick ass in terms of. No, I know most people will, but I just love how the speed of it, and I think that as well. It's one of those situations where if the game is going too fast, I can restrain myself. Like I can just switch to Tails, and the speed just drops, and that's what he's there for. I love the Rocket XL. I think it is genuinely better than any spin dash we have ever had except for Sonic Adventure. I think that being able to charge up a speed boost out of a kick is so sick. And then being able to do that as Espio and he like throws a shuriken ahead of him, or Amy and she does like a hammer attack. Amy has a fucking god. This is the best version of Amy Rose, by the way. I think we can all agree that Amy Rose. Yeah.
Sliding through fucking loop-de-loops is so fucking fun. Cause you like, you're gone. You're out of that loop so fast. But
Amy's float in this game is also really cool as well.
My biggest issue with the game is so in every Sonic game there's a sense of acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
And your acceleration, and in the classics your acceleration was based on momentum. Like if when you start running, you kind of like move a little slow, you're not you're not like blasting off immediately, which is Sonic Heroes' problem.
Yeah.
In SA1, you have this natural just like acceleration. Like as you're running forward, Sonic gets progressively like it's like kind of like he starts off walking, he starts off in a little jog, and then once he hits his top speed, he might go into a different animation. He might put his hands behind his back,
Yeah.
And he's gone. In fucking SA in Sonic Heroes, you're just like the minute you touch the control stick, you're like boom.
Okay.
Because
it's not that bad.
Because every level starts you off running. There's no like in other games, like SA1, when you get to Metal Harbor, you kind of like you land on the ground and you're like, and he goes in, and Sonic goes into his like little landing idle, ready to fight animation or whatever the
Yeah.
animation is that he does, and then you can like press on the fucking control stick.
Yeah.
In Heroes, you're always running, so like you always start off the level while running, so like you're always moving fast.
Not always.
So like you're
Not always.
so no, so not always. So but you start off at your top speed all the time. You always start off at your top speed.
Do you?
And if you stop, it's like, yeah, I stopped and I can keep moving. I can like start moving again. But like if I want to like slow down and stop and like, but I still want to play as Sonic. I don't want to switch my character. Like I still want to run through the level as Sonic for a bit until something comes in my way where I have to switch to Knuckles, or Tails. I still want to run as Sonic, and then the minute I tap the control stick forward, I'm like, oh shit, I'm moving really fast. But like, I want to like, if I want to adjust myself, Sonic keeps like slipping. He feels slippery. That was my issue, and that's where I feel Shadow, fix that. Shadow's still slippery, but it's not as like slippery as before as Heroes.
I think that because of what you just said about Shadow, this is all placebo. I honestly think that because of how Shadow is animated in that game, he feels different to play. Whereas his acceleration is very similar to Sonic's. And I honestly think that they did the most genius thing to stop people from, I guess, like complaining about it. It didn't really work. But I think that if you jump as Sonic in this game, this is the slowest his aerial momentum has ever gone. Ever. If you rocket excel off the level and jump, you still don't really go anywhere. You have to like switch to Tails, and then his momentum carries you, and then you can carry yourself further, obviously. But the really cool thing about this game is that Sonic's aerial momentum, and it sucks to have to jump around. I get it, but it's like he just feels good because of it. You know what I mean? Like I feel so in control when I jump. And because there's so many opportunities out of jump, like the tornado, like a homing attack, like a triangle jump, or just landing back on the ground, I don't see a problem. And I think that if you play by the game's rules, there's not much of a problem. And I think it does suck that you can't play it like Adventure 2 or even Shadow or 06.
I don't like playing Shadow. But like it's just like, I think one of the problems is they got rid of the break. Like the brakes, like, you know how like if you're running in like Sonic 1 or Sonic 2 or whatever, the classics, and you're running straight, but then you're like, oh shit, I think I just saw something over there, or oh, I'm about to run like straight into a bottomless pit. Don't stop. I can press like the other directional input, press an opposite directional input, and then Sonic brakes and stops.
Yeah.
SA1 has it, but like you don't have to use it because you can basically stop on a dime.
Yeah, with the homing attack. Yeah, well, with jumping and canceling the homing attack in the air, like.
Or you can brake, or you can use the brake in SA1, and SA2 doesn't really need to use the brake because everything in that game is everything in the Sonic levels is kind of seamless in terms of how you transition into it, and like into each like phase of the level, like it's a simple it's a transitional, because like it's like, oh, you see this trail of enemies, you better jump and start fucking homing attacking, and the homing attack is fucking janked in this game.
Oh, I think the homing attack is fantastic. I think the homing attack is perfect. It's because his air dash goes further than it has ever gone before.
But the homing attack,
there's a lot of recovery time after as well. I don't have a problem with the targeting.
But it doesn't always target. But like it doesn't always target sometimes, and that's my issue. and because of the homing, and because they gave enemies health bars, which is by far the stupidest thing they could have done.
No,
Um,
I completely disagree because if there's no health bars, there's no leveling system. If there's no leveling system, there's no sense of getting better at the game. And I I don't know.
but the leveling system just turns you into the like SA2, like leveling up to level 3 of Sonic makes you
But it
SA2
doesn't
Sonic.
though. It doesn't though because you're forgetting about Tails and Knuckles.
Yeah,
I
I know.
think with Tails and Knuckles, or sorry, Power and Flight in mind, the leveling system is extremely good because not only does it incentivize exploration way more than literally anything in the adventure games did, but also I think the fact that it's very seamless. Enemies drop them sometimes, and you even get them through checkpoints. It really puts a focus on this leveling system. With the leveling system in the back of your head at all times, which is what the game conditions you, it's how it conditions you to play. The health bars aren't a problem.
Yeah, the
With full
health bars
Sonic, you
aren't a
usually one
problem.
shot, and I think that adding the health, if you remove the health bars though, that sense of satisfaction from the level system doesn't exist. And since the level system doesn't exist and there's no reason to use it, you explore less. And since you explore less, the levels become more cramped because there's nothing to look for except for rings like in the adventure games. And who gives a fuck about extra lives? Like that's
Because
the reason why
the game hands you extra lives. Sonic Heroes hands you extra lives like it's nobody's business.
But here's the thing though, right? Is like compare this to another game with health bars like Sonic 06. The level system isn't in that game, and you just bounce attack enemies, and they have way like the big boys in 06 have way less health than the big boys in Heroes. The difference is that it sucks in 06 even harder, not because of the fact that there's a health bar, but because your means of, and not because of your means of doing it are different as well. You can bounce bracelet the big guys with the lasers twice and they die, right? That's way quicker than the biggest baddies in Heroes. The thing is that because there's no level up system, the knock-on effect of that in terms of player satisfaction is gone. Since there's no level system in 06, that there's no reason to explore to get past the health bars. So it just feels like a pace breaker. And therefore, since there's no reason to explore as Sonic, there's no reason to make the levels as big and open as they need to be because, again, who gives a fuck about rings?
It's just like my issue is when I'm fucking like when I come up to a homing attack chain. If the previous Sonic games that I've played have conditioned me and told me anything, is that when enemies are set into a homing attack chain, they're gonna go down in one hit, and then I can go to the next, and I hit that one enemy, they're dead, I get my points, and then I can homing attack the next one in front of me. But no, Heroes gives you the health bar. Sometimes they'll put like a flying enemy with 2 health in the homing attack chain, end up fucking hitting that shit twice. Especially if your teammates aren't fucking helping you, it's a wrap.
Well, aside from the fact that there's like only a few instances where your teammates won't homing attack with you, which by the way is a criticism. I think they should always do that. But aside from that, and aside from the fact that homing attack chains are positioned in a way that makes it so that you should, if you're playing well enough and you're not just amazingly unlucky with killing enemies in RNG, you should have enough levels to hit and kill them in one hit. In every other Sonic game, homing attack chains feel like a part of the level design. And I think that's okay. I think integrating that into the level design is great. But it's a problem when we are 3 games in, and this is also an inverse criticism, I guess, of yours for Heroes, is like, homing attack chains to me suck. They are automatic, they are pressing the A button. And I really think that if you are going to at least make me think about it a little bit more, or think about it before I get to a homing attack chain, or possibly fly around it and kill the enemies instead with tails in certain situations, that to me is much better than what they've been doing since as well, where they're just homing attack, homing attack. You know you know those homing attacks in Metal Harbor where you have to hit like 13 gun beetles? That shit is lame. You know, a
Oh,
Sonic.
but that shit's like fucking. That shit gets you like, oh shit. What if I miss? Like, cause there's a chance that you'll miss the goal. Like, you'll take too long. And
Yeah,
if you don't like,
but. Oh, you are lagging. Holy shit.
oh,
Your internet is dying. Yeah, that's definitely an internet problem. We were having these problems before the episode. Oh yeah, he's beep booping. Oh, I think it might be Discord, cause I just got disconnected there.
still.
You're kind of roboting. I think Discord's dying. Shoutouts. Yeah, so we should probably wrap this up soon. But in short, I don't think the level up system is bad because it has such a big knock on effect of all these things.
Well, like I don't think the level up system is bad.
Oh no, not the level up, the health bars.
Yeah, I don't like it because it's just like, it's kind of just, it's like in your face. Like I don't like that. Like and like they use the health bars on enemies for like 4 games after this.
Yeah, but that's because there's no level up system and it sucks in those games. Like that's what I'm saying is like the health bars incentivize all these amazing things about Sonic Heroes that I think the level up system probably should have been an 06, probably should have been a Shadow. You know, and it just sucks when I'm playing fucking like Sonic 4 Episode 2 or Sonic Adventure and I'm just like bop 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 and then it's just, oh, I'm at the end of a pit now. You know, at least this game makes me think a little bit more than just repeated homing attack chains. There's that one part in, was it Mystic Mansion, where you have to make sure that your teammates don't attack the pumpkins. You have to time it. You couldn't do that with regular homing attacks because of how the game works. You know, because of the physics system. I think Sonic Heroes is a very flawed game, despite all the praise that I've given it. But I think that if you refine the things that I'm talking about, because the ideas are so good, if you refine them a little bit, might be something great.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think we gotta wrap this up because you're roboting now. It's definitely not a problem with you. I think Discord is just shitting the bed right now.
Yeah, you're doing it for me on my side too.
Yeah, it's definitely Discord. Is it alright if I just mute you then, and then I just like end it off?
Yeah.
Alright. So, sorry about that part at the end. We were getting going as well, and then it was just kind of like dying. But you guys can see us. Link in the description to join our Twitter, to follow our Twitter, join our Discord, get great updates. Our Discord isn't particularly active because we're mostly in the team section, which is kind of hidden, but which is hidden from people that are on the team, obviously. If you're interested in helping us out over at Figure 8, this is an open collab project for Sonic content creators. So if you want to join us there, you know, that's great. Follow my stream, which is where we host this, at twitch.tv/Lewtwo. Follow Matt and myself, on Twitter. And we'll see you guys in the next one with hopefully less lag and hopefully less Sonic Heroes.